Welcome to Berkshire Cadet College and good morning to you all. Hope you all are fine at your home. Dear cadets, you have to follow the preventive tips for your safety. Firstly, wash hands with water and soap or sanitizer at least 20 seconds. Avoid contact with sick people. Don't touch eyes, nose, or mouth with unwashed hands. Don't eat raw food, thoroughly cook meat and eggs. Avoid contact with animals and animal products. Due to corona pandemic, our regular classes are not taking place. So now I am here to take your class virtually. I am Abu Said, lecturer, Department of Mathematics, Berkshire Cadet College. In this class, I am going to discuss statistics for chapter 17, from chapter 17 of your book, Learning Outcome. After the class, you will be able to explain the method of measuring center tendency, explain the necessity of shortcut method in the measurement of central tendency, find the mean and median. Central tendency. The central tendency is stated as the statistical measure that represents the single value of the entire distribution or a data set. It's aimed to provide an accurate description of the entire data in the distribution. So central tendency is a statistical measure that represents a single value of the entire distribution or a data set. Now, measures of central tendency. The central tendency of the data set can be found out using three important measures named mean, median, and mode. So central tendency can be found three important measures that means mean, median, and mode. Central tendency is equal to mean, median, and mode. Now mean, that means arithmetic mean. Arithmetic mean, we know if the sum of the data is divided by the number of the data, we get the arithmetic mean. But this method is complex, time consuming, and there is every possibility of omitting mistake or large numbers of data. We know. So arithmetic mean means the sum of the data is divided by the numbers of the data. But this method is complex or time consuming. That's why there is every possibility of committing mistake for large number of data. In such case, the data are tabulated through classification and the arithmetic mean is determined by shortcut method. When we face problem or then we use shortcut method. Again, I repeat, the data are tabulated through classification. If the data tabulated through classification and the arithmetic mean is determined by shortcut method. Now, we find arithmetic means three methods. First, normal arithmetic mean, normal mean, then arithmetic mean, or by using shortcut method or weighted mean. So arithmetic mean is equal to 1 by n summation I is equal to 1 to k fi xi. When normally we find arithmetic mean, we use this formula. Here 1 by n. N means sum of the frequency, and this symbol is named summation. That means sum of these terms, ith term. Fixi, that means sum of ith term. Normally, when we solve normally arithmetic mean, we use this formula. Now, arithmetic mean of classified data or in shortcut method. The shortcut method is easy to determine arithmetic mean of classified data. The steps of determine mean by shortcut method are to find the mid value of the classes. So firstly, we find the mid value of the classes. Then number two, to take convenient approximate mean from the mid values. Now, secondly, we find the approximate mean A from this mid value. Then number three, to determine step deviation. The difference between the class mid values of approximate mean are divided by the class interval. Step deviation U is equal to mid value minus approximate mean by class interval. So U is equal to mid value minus approximate mean. Approximate mean, that means A. And class interval, we know class interval, that means upper class limit minus lower class limit. Then number four, to multiply the step deviation by corresponding class frequency. Number five, to determine the mean of the step of the deviation, and so to add this mean by approximate mean to find the required mean. So this procedure we follow to when we solve for questions, or when we using shortcut method we solve or we find arithmetic mean, we follow this procedure. So again I repeat, firstly we find mid value, then we take approximate mean A from these mid values. Then number three, we find step deviation. Step deviation U means mid value minus approximate mean divided class interval. Then we multiply the step deviation by the corresponding class frequency and to determine the mean. Then finally to determine the mean of the step deviation. Now shortcut method. The formula used to determining the mean by the data of this method is x bar. X bar means arithmetic mean is equal to A plus summation of Fi ui divided n into age. Here Fi means frequency, ui means step deviation, n means sum of this frequency, and age means class interval. When we solve problems, it will be more clear to you. Where xi, this is required mean, and a means approximate mean, and Fi is class frequency of ith class, and Fi ui is the product of step deviation with class interval of ith class, and age is class interval. And weighted mean, xw is equal to summation of I to 1 is 1 to n xi wi divided by I equal to 1 to n wi. When we find weighted mean, we use this formula. Here xi means mid value, and just change Fi and Wi. Now let us try to solve some questions, and it will be more clear to you to find mean. Now here given the frequency distribution table of the marks obtained by the students of a class is as follows. Find the arithmetic mean of the marks. So we find the arithmetic means of these marks. Here given class interval 25 to 34 and given frequency 5, 35 to 44, then given frequency 10, 45 to 54, given frequency 15, 55 to 64, given frequency 20, 65 to 70, the given frequency 30, and 75 to 84, the given frequency 16, 85 to 19, 94, the given frequency 4. This is our given question. Now let us try to solve. Solution. Here class interval is given. Here class interval is given, and that is why it is not possible to know the individual mark of the students. In such case, it becomes necessary to know the mid value of the classes. So we know mid value of the classes is equal to upper class value plus lower class value divided by 2. Of the class mid value xi, I is equal to 1 to k. The mid value related table will be as follows. Here given class interval 35 to 34. So the required class mid value 34 plus 25 divided by 2. That means 29.5. In the same way, 44 plus 35 divided by 2. That means 39.5. 54 plus 45 divided by 2. That means 49.5. In the same way, we find this data. And here frequency also given 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 16, 4. And n means we know the formula. X bar is equal to n. N means as the sum of this frequency, and fi xi, that means product of these two terms. Fi xi, that means 29.5 into 5, that means 147.5. 10 into 39.5, that means 395.5. 15 into 49.5, that means 742.5. In the same way, we find this data, and here fi sum of this data, that means summation of fi xi is equal to 6190. So the required arithmetic mean, we know this formula, 1 by n summation of I is equal to 1 to k fi xi. Here fi xi means this term and fi means this term. So we know the summation of fi xi, that means fi xi summation of this term, sum of these terms. This symbol means the sum of ith term, that means this term, sum of these total terms. Fi xi. Now putting this value here, 1 by n. N means sum of this frequency. N means 100, and fi xi is summation of fi xi is 96190. Now putting this value here, this is our required arithmetic mean. Now the production cost in 100 taka of a commodity or at different stages is shown in the following table. Find the mean of the expenditure by shortcut method. Now let us try to solve problems by using shortcut method. Here given production 2 to 6, frequency 1, 6 to 10, frequency 9, 10 to 14, frequency 21, 14 to 18, frequency 47, and 18 to 22, frequency 52. In the same way, the given 30 to 34, the frequency 3. Now let us try to solve this problem. Solution. To determine the mean in the light of the flowed step in the shortcut method, the table will be here given class interval and frequency. So when we solve by using shortcut method and we find arithmetic mean, we know the 5 steps. So first step, find mid value. We know mid value means upper class limit plus lower class limit divided by 2. That means 6 plus 2, 8 divided by 2 by, that means 4. 10 plus 6 divided by 2, that means 8. 14 plus 10 divided by 2, that means 12. In the same way, we find this mid value. or frequency also given. No, so now we know the number 3. We take the approximate mean. So approximate mean, that means we take A. We always try to follow the midterm. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here the total term 8. So or we always try to take mid two terms, either 16 or 20 or 20 or 24. We take A. Here we take A is equal to 20. Now our fourth step is step deviation, EY. We know EY is equal to xi minus A by age. So xi means mid value and A means approximate mean. And age means class interval. Here class interval 6 minus 2, that means 4. 10 minus 6, that means 4. So age means 4. Also here, if we consider here 14 minus 10, 4. 18 minus 14, that means 4. So age is equal to 4. Now EY, that means xi minus A by age. Here xi means 4 minus A, that means 20. So 4 minus 20, that means minus 16, divided age means 4 by 4, that means minus 4. In the same way, 8 minus 20, that means minus 12 divided by 4, that means minus 3. In the same way, we find 20 minus 20 by 4, that means 0. And 24 minus 20, that means 4 by 4, that is 1. In the same way, we find these terms. Now, frequency and stability, FIEY, that means product of these two terms. FIEY, that means 1 into minus 4, 4, minus 3 into 9, that means 27, minus 2 into 21, that means minus 42. 47 into minus 1, that means minus 47, 0 into 52, that means 0, 36 into 1, that means 36, 3 into 3, that means 9. Now, sum of these terms, that means summation of FIEY is equal to minus 37, the sum of these terms, and n means sum of this frequency. So here, if we add all these terms, then we can write 188. We know the formula, mean xi, x bar is equal to A plus summation of FIEY by n into h. Here A means approximate mean, here approximate mean 20, and summation of FIEY is equal to minus 37, and n means sum of the frequency, that means 188, and h means class interval, here class interval 4. Now putting all this value here, then we can write 20 plus minus 37 by 188 into 4. 4 means class interval, and n means frequency, sum of the frequency, and summation of FIEY means minus 37. Again, I repeat, when we solve by using shortcut method, so firstly we find mid value of this class interval, then we take the approximate mean. Approximate mean, that means we always consider the middle term, mid-term or mid two terms, anyone will take A. And then number 4, we find step deviation EY is equal to xi minus A by h. And then we multiplication product of these two terms, then sum of these terms, here also sum of these terms, and finally we putting this value in the formula. This is our required mean. So after calculating, we can write 20 minus 0.79 is equal to 19.21. This is our required mean. Now median. We have already learned in class 8 the value of the data which divide the data when arranged in ascending order into two equal parts are median of the data. We have also learned if the number of the data are n and n is odd number, the median will be the value of n plus 1 by 2 term. Again, I repeat, in class 8, we learn the value of the data which divide the data when arranged in ascending order into two equal parts of our median of the data. Now we have also learned if the number of the data are n, if the number of the data is n and n is odd number, then the median will be of the value n plus 1 by 2 term. But if n is even number, then the median will be the numerical mean of the value of n by 2 and n by 2 plus 1 term. So let us try to solve some questions, then it will be more clear to you. The frequency distribution table of 51 students is placed below. Find the median. Here height 150, frequency 4, 155 by 6, 160, 12, 165, 16, 178, 175, 5. Now solution. Cumulative frequency distribution table for finding mean is as follows. Here given frequency and height. We know cumulative frequency, that means sum of this frequency. Here the first term frequency 4, then 4 plus 6, that means 10, 10 plus 12, 22, 20 plus 16, that means 38, 38 plus 8, 46, 46 plus 5, 51. Here you see the total number of frequencies 51. That means n is odd number. Here n is equal to 51 and this is odd number. So median, we know when the n is odd, we know the formula, the value of n plus 1, n means 51, 51 plus 1 by 2 term. 51 plus 1 by 2, that means 26, 26 term. Here we know the 22, up to 22 terms here, and after 22 and before 38, the term will be here. That's why 26, that means after 22 and before 38, that means here. That's why this term is 165. This is our required median. Now, another question. The frequency distribution table of marks obtained in mathematics of 60 students is as follows. Find the median. Mark obtained 40, frequency 2, 45, 4, 54, 55, 3, 67, 70, 10, 80, 16, 85, 6, 94, 95, 3, 101. This is our given question. Now let us try to solve. Solution. Cumulative frequency distribution table or determining median is here given. Marks, this data are given and frequency also given. In the same way, cumulative frequency, that means sum of this frequency, here the first term 2, first term remains same, then add the next term, that means 2 plus 4, 6, this is the cumulative frequency, and 6 plus 4, that means 10, 10 plus 3, that means 13, 13 plus 7, that means 20 in the set, 30 plus 16, that means 46, 52 plus 4, then 56, 59 plus 1, that means 60. Here n means 60. Here 60 is even number. That's why we know when n is even, then we know the formula. The median is n by 2 term plus n by 2 plus 1 term divided by 2. So the 60 by n means 60. 60 by 2, that means 30 term, and 30 plus 1 term. That means 30 and 31 term divided by 2. Here 30 and 31. If we see here 30 term, that means 70, and 31 term is 80. That means 70 plus 80 divided by 2. That's why we can write 70 plus 80 divided by 2. That means 75. This is our required median. So when and even, we use this formula. If n odd, then we use n plus 1 by 2, this formula. Now this is your homework. Temperature is always changing. Usually Bangladesh temperature is comparatively lower during first week of January and comparatively higher during fourth week of June. Following this list, temperature of 52 weeks is Celsius. Here given temperature, this data. So number one, or first question, calculate the number of the class considering the class interval of 5. Express the given data in a tabular form and find the mean of the value of the lowest and highest temperature. Draw a histogram using the table. This is your homework. That's all for today. If you have any query, you can ask that in the comment section. Lastly, I would like to remind you the most important thing. In this critical situation, you must stay home and keep yourself safe. Stay fine. Thank you.